Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
I care about clean stuff.
Yeah, I've never been in a room with like that had a teenager in it that didn't smell like BO. So I can't
Correct.
trust them to like,
Correct.
like have like
Or
you know-
like bars, for example. Have you smelt a bar during the daytime?
oh my god, yeah,
You can't get it clean.
yeah,
Like it doesn't.
yeah.
Like it's never going to happen. It constantly smells like cum, throw up, and Lysol, like forever. So there's no way you can't scrub it out. Like it's in there, like
Yeah.
hard baked into the seams of these buildings.
It's what we used to pay for. I mean, that was part of the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, that's why I think people are crazy. It's like, okay, cool. That's why I'm like, you know what? Go for it. Cool, man. I'm gonna stay inside. I know what's going on
Yeah.
inside my house. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah. Shout outs to the heroes on the front line, but I will stay inside and make a sandwich today. That is-
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I guess I should intro us. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs and always about coronavirus now. With Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today is a comic, fabulous comic, one of my favorites that I feel like I never get to see, not just because of the end of the world, but truly awesome comic, Lydia Popovich. What's up,
Hi.
Lydia?
I
How
don't
are you?
even know if I'm a comic anymore, guys. I've not done any Zoom sets.
Uh-huh.
My tweets are more truth than jokes anymore.
Sure.
I don't know if any of the jokes that I've ever told in my life are even funny or relevant to anything at all.
You're
So
correct.
yeah, but I am funny. I know that I'm
Uh-huh.
funny. And when the time comes and I feel like I've got something meaningful to say, or just a really great fart joke, I look forward to being a comic again.
Yeah, it'll swoop in.
The sun will rise again.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And I've just started seeing a trickle's worth of people who are doing sets at different places that are crazy enough to open, and you're just like, But-
No, like so many reasons other than just like the health reasons we just talked about.
So
It's
many.
the same thing.
Mhm.
But on top of that, like I am shocked by the number of comics who seem to be a little delusional about the state of the world and the state of comedy and how
Uh-huh.
it's not the same. It will never be the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just funny to me, people like racing out there to tell their jokes. Like, do you really think, like, what do you have that's so important to say?
Correct.
Like what it's like, comedy doesn't need you, you need comedy. Like, be real about why you're doing it. You know what I
100%.
mean? And I'm all for self-care, but like at the expense of others, like encouraging people to gather. Like I've seen a bunch of drive-in shit, which is cool. Like
Sure.
that I can kind of get around, I guess. But you're gonna have to go to the bathroom sometime, buddy. And guess what's not clean? A drive-in bathroom.
Yeah.
And also the idea of being a comic and being like, and people are in their cars, like what, honking at you?
Correct.
Yeah,
Flashing their lights at you when they laugh? Get the fuck out of here, dog. No, man. That's not comedy.
Or can you imagine you're doing it and no honking and no flashing?
I'm saying, like, at least
it's
when
just-
you're bombing in a club, you can look that motherfucker in the eye. You know what I mean? Like, he can respectfully scorn, or she or they can scorn you directly, and you can have a human moment where you're like, oh, I get it. You hate me. You think I'm terrible. You hate all of the words coming out of my mouth. But guess what? You're going to get these spit droplets in the rest of these jokes.
Yeah.
You can't do that to cars, like, at all.
No.
And then you got to get in your car and drive away, and your car's like, man, I saw what those cars did to you. And then you're all embarrassed in your safety room, like your car doesn't respect you anymore. Like, I'm not gonna. No, I'm sorry. I paid good money for my Audi, and we have a whole thing going on, and that has been one of my special places.
If you bomb super hard and then you're like, and then you get cut off by someone in traffic and try to honk at them, but your car won't. It's
Yeah.
like, nah,
You're like, oh.
not after that set. Not
Yeah,
after
man.
that set.
I'm
sir.
not here for you, dog. You're out here. You made that choice.
You deserve this level of
You
disrespect.
could have took a lift here, bro. You didn't even have to involve me like that.
Yeah, exactly. I was happy parked at the house. Where have we been at? At the house. Where did you try to go? Not the house. Bitch, you ain't funny anymore.
I haven't asked you for gas in 3 months. Then you do this to me?
Exactly. You washed me twice. It's already that I'm stained with pollen. And now this? Yeah. No, man. I'm not doing that to my car.
Yeah.
We have too good of a thing
respect
going
I
on.
mean, self-care and self-respect, I think.
Yeah, it's big.
important
I'm
in
big on
these
both of those
trying
things.
times. Lydia, we always start the podcast with a segment that we like to call "Fuck This Place?" ? Where we look at Craigslist posts and we decide if we would work somewhere or not.
Ooh, fun.
So we have looked up Craigslist posts in the San Jose area. You are from San Jose.
I am originally from San Jose. That is right. Ride or die.
Hell yes.
San Jose all day.
So I'm gonna read 3 job titles, and we'll pick you pick the one you don't want to look at, and we'll look at the other 2.
Okay.
Okay. So the first job title is $700 a day with 4 exclamation points.
Okay.
The second job title is 20 essential workers needed immediately.
Ugh, okay.
And the last one is all caps. We have leads. ... Tired of prospecting. ... Winning. Also 4 exclamation points. So which one would you not like to look at? Leads, essential workers, or $700 a day?
That's hard because I feel like I know what the leads is going to be, but I also feel like who knows if I really do, right?
For sure, you know.
Essential workers, I feel like I want it to be more salacious than it is, and I know it's just going to be boring.
Right.
$700, 4 exclamation points, all day. So I think I'm going to go with who cares? I don't want an essential worker job anyway. I know that's a fuck no.
Fair. So then let's start with $700 a day. $700 a day, San Jose downtown. This is not a misprint.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. We have the opportunity of a lifetime. And let me just say, before we read any more of this ad, if $700 a day is the opportunity of your lifetime,
man, it's Rona times, dog.
Yeah, it's definitely post-COVID lifetime is what he's talking about.
$700 is like 3 weeks of life.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they mean the remainder of your lifetime.
Correct.
Which could be, a month or less. Then it says SMS, that very nefarious abbreviation here.
What does that mean?
No idea. Seeks 20 new signature collectors, to earn $3,000 to $4,000 a week for the last 3 weeks of our project. Okay, so it really is just for 3 weeks. Whether you're dying at the end of 3 weeks or not, that's the length of time you're working. We are a petition company, and we currently have 2 issues to get on the ballot. What issues? We do not know.
Here we go.
One to help legalize sports wagering.
Okay.
Sports wagering all over the state.
Is it not legal?
I think...
I don't
know.
I think sports wagering is only legal through like apps that kind of come and go.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
They're I think you're right. They're like existing in a kind of like nebulous gray area where it's like we're not betting.
Well, I guess in California you can't gamble in California unless it's like a lottery ticket. Okay, I remember how things work now. Sorry. So, in my house, I have a card game that's just going constantly. I forgot. There's people playing craps right now in my bathroom shower stall, so I totally forgot.
Right.
I've been running books. I've been running books for years.
it moves from time to time. Okay, so one to help legalize sports wagering all over the state, which great. They don't even say betting. And then another to help decrease pollution, which to me feels
they're all over the place. They're all over the place here.
It's really divergent. Okay.
They're a contract employer, obviously. They're just whatever you need. The combined payout is $7. Combined payout. What does that mean?
Listen, the math continues.
Yeah, it's true. Get 100 signatures and earn $700 daily.
Yeah, man.
Well, okay, we'll come back to the math. If you are in sales, customer service, or just a great people person, this would be a dream opportunity. There's no... yeah, go ahead.
I say I don't think so, but go ahead.
Yeah, correct. There is no experience necessary for the position. I believe that. All we require is a positive attitude and the desire to make thousands.
Wow, we just skipped from hundreds to thousands.
We sure did. We're escalating quickly now. The campaign ends July 6th, so time is limited. Apply today, start tomorrow. And that's the post.
Okay, so here's a few things. Okay. You do need experience because it clearly says if you are in sales, customer service, or just a great person, that's experience in some capacity. But what they should say is, do you like to hustle?
Yeah. Do you like to walk around in the sun?
Yeah.
While wearing
Yeah, while wearing a mask in the end times, are you okay with stopping and bothering people with an issue that is not having to do with race or the police?
Correct. Yeah, we're trying to get stuff on the ballot that has nothing to do with the moment that we're experiencing right now.
Yeah, listen, I know that Black people are dying daily at the hands of police, but I was just wondering, how do you feel about betting on the Bills when this whole sports thing comes out? You know what I mean? Like, Breonna Taylor will get there, but right now, I want to make sure that you can bet, you know?
Yeah.
It's very important.
And let's decrease the
legalize
pollution
an
is some weird, like, code word that we're not into.
No. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I completely agree that have you all seen any new like canvassers? I live in a neighborhood that has them, so I've seen the outfits they have to wear, and it's severe. Like you're saying that they have to wear a mask, yes, but they're also wearing those new clear visors. Have you all seen
the face shields?
Yeah. Face shields?
Full on like alien shield, and often they're wearing like some kind of, I wouldn't call it like a hazmat suit, but it's like a plastic covering.
Like a zip up
like it's
situation.
It's
like a full painty thing.
It's just like
it's a painty thing.
Like sweating like crazy, like big MMA fight tonight, guys, huh? Right?
Nice.
We're gonna win.
Imagine if we could all bet freely on this. The man is trying to keep us down. Listen, I know that the air is fucked up. I also have to talk to you about that. I'm not talking about corona. I'm talking about aerosol pollution.
Well, that's why I think that, I think there's a chance. It says combined payout. I'm wondering if you have to get a signature for both, for legal sports wagering and decreasing pollution.
Oh yeah. Well, I think what they're saying is it's $3.50 a piece and $7 something. The math is easier to say combined payout 7 times 100 equals $700. It's not as sexy to be like each signature is $3.50. Sell 50, get 50 signatures, and you've got yourself $157.25. I think it's
you're absolutely right.
That's hustle math, man. That's hustle math.
Yeah, excellent marketing there. That's a good point. Yeah, you're right. They're definitely hustle mathing you
to do this. So they really got to dumb this math.
Desperate or dumb. That's for sure.
Yeah. Huh.
My thing though too, I think is kind of weird. Is like the idea that the campaign ends July 6th. It's like, why does pollution go away after that? Like, what is changing after July 6th?
Maybe it's all the only time they have to get us to the primaries. You know what I mean? Those big PAC,
right.
Big gambling, big sports gambling needs this work done.
Yeah, that's true. Big sports gambling needs.
Yeah.
I think it's a contract thing. I mean, I bet you they just start up July 7th. But they just make sure that they make sure every 3 weeks, like. Nobody.
New campaigns. Well, I think you also have to cycle through before they realize that there's never going to be any of those things on the ballot.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
And it's really just selling an email scam.
Right.
So like, put your email, put your name, put your full name, put your email, put your zip code. Put your zip code. Okay, cool. Thank you.
And we will sell this email to somebody at some point.
Yeah.
Do you think you start with pollution or you start with sports when you're trying to start a conversation?
It depends on your mark, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Like
if you're walking up to me, you're starting with pollution.
Yeah, I guess it's fair. Maybe me sports, and then once I like you, then I'm like, I'll hear.
You're like, hey man, you want to sign this other shit about pollution? You know what you can't do? Go to a football game when it's fucking shitty outside. They go together.
The number of combos cannot be high. I
mean, just like, man. I love clear skies and the Oakland Raiders. What about you?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do this job. Fuck this job for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna say fuck this place as well. I mean, I can't do the job. Not only would I not do it, but if you put me in the position to do it, I would fail at it. And so let's skip that.
Yeah.
I answered an ad similar to this when I was probably like 14 or 15. And it was for a call center though, but it was a call center that was trying to raise money for environmental shit. For the first week I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. But then I was just like, oh, this is a straight up scam. Like I am legit working, like I am scamming people out of money over the phone for the environment. Because all the talking points were just like, trees are great. You like trees. Don't you miss trees? What about your grandkids? Don't you want your grandkids to have trees?
Yes.
Then you should give me $350
Get
every
a credit
month.
card.
Like, yeah, exactly. I worked there for like 3 weeks and I was like, oh, this is terrible. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I made like $400 and that was it, or something. It was like some little amount of money. And then I was just like, oh, I'm a bad person.
Yeah. So it's an easy no. You know, it's
Yes,
not. It's
hard
a
no.
hard pass. Okay, great. So next post is we have leads. Tired of
This is
prospecting?
exactly what I thought it was going to be. I was hoping this was going to be better.
It is a little more. It's definitely a little more detailed. There's quite a bit to this post. Okay, so it says we have leads tired of prospecting, winning! Exclamation point times 4. Then it says leads provided! Bunch of exclamation points.
Leads.
Bunch of dots. Speak to clients that have asked to see you. There's no way that's true.
Me personally?
I think so.
This guy's talking to people like he's trying to get attention at like the 1920 World's Fair. Leads. Step right up, folks.
He's got like a red and white striped
Yeah.
button-up shirt with no collar. You know what I'm talking about? Just buttons.
He's got a cane he doesn't need.
Yeah, that's correct. Professional sales leaders wanted. Okay, so you're already mixed messaging me. If you're looking for sales management, we are the company. You can grow you skills while making a great income. $. I'm exhausted by the syntax here. Now we have an asterisk, bunch of dots. Sales leaders voted a great place to work since 2017. So are they called sales leaders?
That's what I was wondering. I'm guessing the name of the company is Sales Leaders.
I'm thinking you're right. Then another asterisk, complete training provided. A proven sales system equals high income potential. Many area reps making 6 figures.
Dang.
I mean, we'll see. Okay, then it says we provide qualified direct mail and web leads.
Hey, man.
Sorry.
Nothing like
leads.
those good direct mail leads.
Yeah, direct mail is that's the thing. When someone says qualified for a lead, that is a broad road. You know,
We promise there's a structure here.
Yeah, correct. We promise it's a structure that has no logic or goodwill or anything in it. But yes, there is a structure that you could sort of like bounce your way through our chaos. Then there's a list here of what they provide. So I don't know why this is in parentheses, but again, I'm not gonna be the syntax police. Number 1, base plus commission plus bonuses.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna leave that. Paid mileage, cell phone allowance, benefits. Okay, all right. Company 401k with company match, comprehensive training, no overnight travel, advancement opportunity, work for a company that's number 1 in their industry. That's the list. Important. 10,000 people a day are turning 65 years of age, and it's going to be like that for the next 20 years.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
What are you doing, buddy? What are you talking about?
So far, what I'm getting is that the company is called Sales Leaders, and the industry is leads.
And or farming old people.
Yeah, because old people are turning 65. Leads.
I would guess since they're using direct mail leads, there's a chance that they're selling to old people.
Yes.
Whatever it is.
My thing is, wait a second. Are old people only going to be around for another 20 years? Is that what they're saying?
Listen, there are 10,000 people a day. There's 365 days a year. That's 365,000 people that are over 65 years of age. And it's going to be like that for 20 years. Do the math. Multiply that. 365,000 divided by times 20. I mean, thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands potential income on the table. I'm with this. I get the math.
Yeah, Lydia, you really are good at the hustle math.
Yeah.
I'm
also like
listen, it's in my blood.
First day of training, everybody's sitting down and like they've been given 1 bottle of water. I feel like you're the person who walks in and is like, you're about to change your fucking life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like you throw a cup of water in someone's face and then yell leads at them.
Leads. Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Whatever gets the job done.
Yeah, it would be literally that bottle of water. I would throw it on them and it'd be leads. Be like, there was 1,000 leads right here, and you went them to waste until someone show you how valuable the leads are. The leads are all over your face.
Yeah.
This is you pissing the leads away.
Yes, exactly.
Then okay, so after they lay down this hardcore fact of people are getting old, and there's thousands of them, then it says what that means to you is plenty equals qualified free leads.
Oh yeah, they're definitely jicking old people.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
This is hurting old people in one way or another. Then we hit a bunch of asterisks, and then it says this is an employee position.
Wait, I thought it was gonna be a sales leader.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand if you're a manager, or if you're the hype man, or if you're gonna take old people to like the woods to shoot them. You provide.
Okay.
Must be able to work virtually, conduct virtual meetings through our telecommunication platforms. That's how you know,
guys,
they know
we're
nothing
fucking
about
qualified. We're doing it right now. Let's call these guys right now.
No, we're definitely qualified to do this remotely. I just think that they're not qualified to have people remotely because they're using the word telecommunication platforms. But maybe I'm wrong.
Hey man, they might have a T1 line you don't know about.
What's a T1 line?
Just old school fucking telecommunications platforms from the fucking 90s connected to satellites and shit.
So then they definitely have that.
Yeah.
Is the answer. And reasonably proficient in Microsoft Word, Suite, Word, Outlook, Excel. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm not 100 years old, so yeah, I know what those are. Now there's a list of what we're supposed to provide. A sustained willingness to work hard.
Sustained? Willingness?
I'm out. Then it says phone skills, appointment setting skills, no cold calls. Those two things contradict themselves a lot. Appointment setting skills and no cold calls. Like, yeah, maybe the no cold calls rhetoric, again, stretches pretty thin.
These clients have contacted you wanting information.
Yeah, me. That's what it says.
That means grandma was a little bit high after her third Xanax and vodka for the afternoon and happened to accidentally click on find out more. And now you need to call her and talk to her.
For sure. She clicked on an ad that was like lose 10 pounds of belly fat in 1 hour. Using this one old weird trick.
For sure.
Somehow ended up in an email list here. Then it says one call close ability is what we're supposed to bring.
Wow. I mean, wow. The audacity in asking that.
A lot.
One call close.
I mean.
One call. One call.
One.
Okay.
And then it says a reliable car and valid driver's license. Then here we go.
Where am I driving to?
That's a great
I'm supposed
question.
to close in one call. And I can't cold call nobody. Where the fuck am I going?
I don't know.
I'm working remotely, virtually.
Yeah,
I'm virtually hussing, and now I gotta have a car and a valid driver's license.
You're absolutely right, especially with the one call close. Like, I closed. We're done. That's a close.
You know what a one call close is? It's called a murder.
Yeah, it's just like I didn't trust these people from the fourth exclamation point. From the very beginning, but nonetheless, none of this makes sense. Then, and I really like this one, desire to help families.
Oh man, these are bad people.
That's what you gotta bring. Yeah.
Oh shit, it's the Neptune Society?
Oh, do you know about the Neptune Society?
Oh my god, I'm gonna blow your guys' fucking minds. This makes so much sense. I know exactly what this job is.
Okay, please. We're going to, if they have a website, we're going to go to neptunesociety.com.
Okay, the Neptune Society is a freestanding society that promotes and does reasonably priced cremations. I paid to cremate my father with the Neptune Society.
Really?
A normal cremation, when you go to a funeral home, can cost you upwards of $10,000 to $15,000 because the fucking funeral community and the funeral homes are a goddamn racket. And they have situations set up with hospitals so that they just pretty much grift you, and they grift people that are young.
Yeah.
So the Neptune Society is whole based on the idea that you make this choice ahead of time before you die, and you pay for it in advance. So that way, when it happens, everything happens seamlessly, and all you have to do is like pick up that person's ashes like 3 days after they roast them, and that's it. And it's actually very reasonably priced. It cost me $1,896 to cremate my father, which is completely like $1,800 is very, very reasonable.
That's incredible.
And that was inclusive of everything. And I didn't have to think of a goddamn thing. What a fucking weird way to recruit people to do that. So this is basically old people who are over 65, who are about to die every day, are signing up for this and are like, I want to find out about this. Like, call me and talk to me about it. And then they call them and they basically talk them through that.
Right. Well, question: How did you or he find out about it?
So my dad told me about the Neptune Society because he was, I wouldn't want to say he was an atheist because he was raised Catholic. It was like, went all the way through, was like an altar boy, the whole shit. But he just kind of had this reckoning and didn't really understand sort of the politics behind religion. And he felt like it sullied it. And he just really was like, you know what? I don't want anything to do with this. Like when I'm dead, my body is a piece of meat and I just want it roasted up and then spread me around. Like his whole thing was he wanted me to like send his friends boxes of ashes randomly. And I was like, that's just gross. You can't do that.
Yeah, for sure, Dad. Come on.
He was like, no, it's funny. Come on.
Exactly. But my dad was a jokester. He totally was. He was like, yeah, his first idea was like, I'm going to make a bunch of fishing lures, but you could put my ashes inside the lures, like the fish bobbers, and then just sell them to people. And then people will go fishing in the lake and I'll always be fishing. And I was like, I can't sell people your ashes.
No, you cannot.
Like, well, give them away. And then I was like, but even that's weird too. Like, I'm just going to give them away. He's like, just leave them in a bucket on the side of the beach and people will use them and they won't. And I'll just be fishing. Like, and he was the one that told me about it because he didn't cost a bunch of money. He didn't want anybody doing any religious services over him. He literally wanted to die and be just like, have it be done.
Yeah. Which is the way it should be.
So wait a second though. So back to this thing. So then we have leads. That means we know people that are dying. Is that what they're trying to say?
Sure.
Like, that's what they mean by leads.
Find out more and you fill out this form and sends, I filled out that form.
Yeah.
Like, right here. Can we help you? Like, that's how I paid for this. I filled it out. They sent me like this email with all this information. And then they're like, oh, do you want us to call you? Like, we'll call you and talk to you about this. And I was like, oh, it's not important. Like if you go up, there's those buttons. I want to pre-plan. I know someone who died, learn more. So you just click
right.
areas. And then depending upon how much information you want, like if you want someone to call you, they'll totally call you and talk you through it. So that's what it is. I didn't realize there was such a fucking hard sell behind it. That's wild. But
I almost want to fill this out and like just say like Chase died or whatever, and then like we'll go like just to see like
you could just say it for yourself. You could just be like, hey, like I'm planning. I want to plan for my future. I'm at a point in my life where I feel like it's really important to plan for my future, and it's like literally your information, and they'll call you and probably talk to you about it and try to give you one call.
And one call close.
Do you think they'll like hustle though? Like it'll just be like, look, we got make a call, Mr. Aaron.
I'm curious. Here. Like, honestly, they were really cool. Like, I didn't have any human interaction until after my dad was dead, and they called me to be like, hi, this is so and so from the Neptune Society. We just wanted to let you know we have your dad's body. Like, here's the policy number. Like, it's paid for. He'll be ready in 2 weeks. Or whatever time it was. And it was like a week and a half. It was longer than I thought. I thought they would just like get on it that day, but I guess there's like a whole process.
Sure.
They do. And then I literally like went and picked it up, and it was just like, it was as easy as picking up fucking food from a store. You know what I mean? I just woke up and it was just like in a little bag, and they're like, here's your father. And I was like, all right, thanks. And took him in the car and went and got tacos, and it was done. That's fucking wild.
Dang.
I would totally do that job though. I would totally do that job. I was actually already saying I'd do that job just because I'm like, this is too wild of a sales. Like, I have a hustle mentality, so I'm like, you know what? This is the kind of shit I could see myself getting caught up in. Let me go fuck with this and see if I can see what's up.
I really like the verb getting caught up in it, not like taking or like trying for a while, but like I can find myself getting so absorbed in this I can't get out.
This is
very representative of my life. I get caught up in shit.
When you like got like excited over like the idea of like you were like the Neptune Society, I thought we were gonna like solve a crime or some kind of Illuminati thing.
Yeah.
But this is weird in a whole different like the hustle of trying to turn old people into ashes super fast.
That's nuts to me. But also like, all right, man. I mean, it is helping families, dude, because people spend so much money.
Definitely.
So much money on that
so
shit.
Much.
And it's
they get milked over that.
I mean, funerals can be like $10,000 easy. Like,
easy.
No question.
Yeah.
And
my dad's funeral
just
cost me $400. It was not expensive. Like the literal, and it was just because I bought barbecue. I just bought food. Like I bought booze, I bought some barbecue. And I was like, all right, here we're done. Cool.
My on my dad's side of the family, when my grandma died, she wasn't held in the highest regard, and they just didn't do anything, and then the city took care of it for nothing. So it's just like so the idea of like sales is 100% just milking your sadness. Like the idea of selling you like a $3,000 casket, you know what I mean? Just something.
100% of the people who are clicking on this are in some sort of duress. There's people, even if you're an older person that's not sick yet, you're still thinking about and conceptualizing your death. So you're doing it for yourself, which is macabre and weird, but also irresponsible. Kind of great. You know what I mean? It's very like, let me be real about this. Or someone who died or is about to die, which means you're in a period of stress. Like 100% of these people are in a very special, tender place.
Indeed. And if you call them, you can exploit the fuck out of it.
God.
While also helping them.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Wow. Well, then, I mean, I'm going to say fuck this place because, again, I'm very scared by the number of asterisks that are used here. But I would say it's the least fuck this place I've ever had on a random chaos sales post.
I can confirm it's 100% a real thing.
Yeah.
It's not a hustle.
I don't think I could close in one call.
What's that name?
I said I don't think I could close in one call, which is why I'm probably out. Like I feel like they're implying like, look, these guys are calling because they 100% want to do this, so you should be able to close out in one call.
Right.
I feel like I'd be on the phone like, oh, Diane, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh, damn.
You're too empathetic for the role, job.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. I don't. That'd be heartless.
I'm a 3 to 4 call closer. You know, like I'll call you back. You call me. We'll see how we are.
Man. I feel like if I could show up in person, I could do it.
Obviously you can. I mean, there's a reliable car and driver's license component here. I don't know how this whole thing integrates.
Got those. Yeah. Got those.
Do you think
I will drop him off? That's the final thing I would throw in. I will drop your loved one off. You do not have to do the awkward pickup yourself. And I will bring you a comfort food of your choice.
Oh, wow.
Be like, show up with like a covered dish and their grandpa. Dog.
Yeah. That's worth the sale. You go to like Boston Market every week.
Yeah.
Just getting
like here's a dozen tamales, lo siento, con Dios. Here's your cup, give them their loved one.
Yeah, well, I guess not fuck this place in this one then.
Oh, I mean, it's not for everyone. Definitely a tough job. Definitely a tough job.
For sure.
But I feel better about it than $700 a day, 4 exclamation points. So that's for sure.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470-BAD-JOBS. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird like temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
You want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470-BAD-JOBS.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
Lydia, what is the first job you ever had?
So the first job that I ever had, we've been talking about hustle. I've got a hustle mentality. My dad was a hustler. So the first job I ever had was my own business. My dad used to take me to the movies in San Jose, California, at the Capitol Drive-In, and it's also a flea market. You know Capitol Drive-In?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I used to go there a bunch as a kid.
Classic place. When I was a kid, it was like $5 for the car. As many people as you want can go to the movie. So we just did that. And my dad loved to drink and smoke. So he loved it because he was like, I can drink a 6-pack of beer. I can smoke 3 to 5 joints. It's 2 hours for one movie. If I'm too fucked up, I won't drink the second movie and then I'll drive the kid home. So he would always pick movies. It was like the first one was for me and the second one was for him. And they kind of stacked them like that too. So that the kids would be falling asleep and you'd go in your jammies and like, it was the best. But my dad always had me clean his windshield before the movie. So I'd have, a little roll of toilet paper or not toilet paper, but paper towels and Windex, clean the window, and that was just kind of the deal. And he would let me pick out like the king size candy that I wanted at 7-Eleven before we went, right?
Yes.
So I really quickly realized, without a doubt, every time I cleaned the window, some car that was next to me on the left or the right of us would always be like, hey, you want to clean my window? I'll give you $1. And I'd be like, oh, and I do it here and there. And then I was like, oh shit, I could really, like, this could be a whole situation. Like, I'm adorable. I'm 7. Like, this is great. You know what I mean? Like, I was a child.
Yeah.
And my dad was just like, you could see everything. Like, here's the Capitol Drive-In.
Oh, baby. Okay,
So
for those who are
that's
just
how it
listening to
be.
the podcast, you are missing out because Lydia has a custom Zoom background that is the Capitol Drive-In theater.
Is the Capitol Drive-In. So you would just drive in, and you would drive in early like this. It's daylight, so it's kind of dusky. So they don't start playing that movie until it's dark. So there was a good hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, depending upon when we got there. And my dad liked to be very specific. He liked to be like in the middle, like perfectly on, but back, so that there was like enough space that the like radio transmission worked for him or whatever in his jank-ass car.
Of course.
So I would literally just walk around and I would charge people 50 cents, but everybody would give me $1. Because why?
Hell
like,
yeah.
you don't have 50 cents, like whatever.
Oh,
So
perfect.
you see how big that parking lot is.
Huge.
Uh-huh.
It's like a Walmart
200
size parking
cars,
lot.
300 cars. So I started going and just showing up, and I started bringing friends, and then I would like be like, oh, I'll give you $50 if you help me, and just give me all the money. And they're dumb little kids. They weren't counting.
Right.
They didn't realize they were giving me $150, and I was giving them, $50. And I think I gave them like 20. Like, it was definitely a shiesty deal. That was my dad's idea. He was like, hey, tell your friends you'll give them $20 and then you can do all of the theaters. So we were clearing like $300-400, and my dad was absolutely skimming off the top too. Like,
of course.
Let me hold that in my pocket. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. But for me, having a couple $100 was like, I always had a couple $100 like at all times.
7 years old.
At 7 years old, you had a couple $100 on you all the time?
Yep.
Oh my God.
I had a shoebox full of money that I kept underneath my bed, where I was just like, and then I was always had something in my head. Like at one point it was like doll houses. So I'd go buy dollhouse furniture, or it was like, oh, I want like a new pound puppy, or, oh, I want like Poochie Pet, or like whatever toys I wanted. Cause my family was fucking broke. And so I didn't get shit like that.
Right.
So if I wanted to go do anything, if I wanted to do like cheer, if I wanted to like go to a birthday party, if I wanted to go to a sleepover, like I didn't want to be the kid that showed up without a present. So I just took care and made sure I had money so I could do what I wanted to do. So that job fully let me do that. And it was great. And I probably did that until I was probably about 10, maybe 11, because then I started developing early. And so I had tits at 10, and it started getting weird. You know what I mean? It's not as safe to be a 10-year-old girl walking around, and you look around 12 or 13, 14, and some creeps like, oh, yeah, wash my window. And you're like, my dad's going to stab somebody in the neck. I can't do this anymore. And that's pretty much what he said. He's like, I'm going to have to stab somebody in the neck. So you can't, this isn't a thing we do anymore.
But just even the wherewithal at 7 years old, like the mindset. When I was 7 years old, for me, if I didn't step in dog shit, that was like a win on a daily. So to be like, I'm going to have a couple $100 in my pocket, I would have never thought that.
Yeah. I don't know. I was always obsessed with working. Like I was an only child until 11. So it was just me. So I just spent a lot of time by myself and like in my head, and just like my parents, worked a lot. So my dad took me to work, or my mom took me to work. So I saw people working. So that's what I just thought, you want to be a grown up, you want to be like parents, like you got to work. Oh, what's my job going to be? Like, let me figure out what my job's going to be. And then once I realized, oh, but this is a job, this is a business, I have a little business. And my dad was super supportive and very encouraging, obviously. So it was also a way to like spend time with my dad and kind of bond, and like knowing that we were going to go to the movies and I was going to make money, and then I would have fun with my friends, and then I get to do other stuff. It was just like everything kind of made sense to me in my little brain as to like, well, why wouldn't I do this?
Right.
And then when I convinced girlfriends to come with me, they were just like, and some of them just didn't want it. Like, kids sometimes just aren't into it. Like, I had a friend that came with me, and she was like, ugh, this is dumb. Can't we just like go swing on the swings? Like, and she just ended up going back to the car and sitting with my dad. Like, she just didn't like it.
Right.
And she didn't understand why I thought it was so cool. And I was like, but money. And she's like, I don't care. My parents have money. And I was like, all right, you fucking rich bitch. But yeah, it was dope. It was definitely it was a fun job. It was good.
Did you move on to another hustle after that, or like did you get a regular job? Or
the amount of hustles that I've had over the years is
several.
remarkable. You know, after that, I had a short-lived sort of general chores business. So I made up little flyers for myself, and I walked around to all of the apartments that were in my community and knocked on the doors of people that I knew were older or like didn't have a husband or had, you know, too many kids that weren't home or whatever, and be like, hey, like, do you have chores? I would like run to the market for people. I would clean their windows. I would like clean up their houses. I would, you know, watch their kids. I'd babysit, like whatever. I did that stuff kind of generally at the same, around those same ages, between like 7 to 13. And then once I reached like 12, 13, I was tall and I had tits, so I could kind of trick people into thinking I was older. And then I was doing under the table jobs at businesses.
Oh, okay.
Like they weren't
like
asking
hostessing
me,
or whatever.
Yeah, like they weren't asking me for like a working permit, but like I could work there, you know? Yeah.
Whoa. That's awesome. That's like crazy. Like how, like 40 jobs by the time you were 15.
No, I seriously, I've had so many jobs. I mean, I put myself and moved away to college on the money that I made. I mean, that was illegal money, but it was still money that I made, and I had a hustle. So I was a nanny during the day for a family that had 3 kids. And then their next door neighbor realized I was there all day and was like, hey, will you nanny my kid? And I was like, sure. So I was like getting paid double for doing, you know, having an extra kid, where now they just all played together. So I was like 17 and was just fucking high all the time. And just was like, yeah, swim in the pool. Sounds great. Like, don't die, you know, like collecting money. And then I used my nanny money and I invested that into weed, acid, and mushrooms. And then I flipped those in San Jose individually on 8s. And then I would also, the weeks that I had off from nannying, I would go on the road with the Grateful Dead, and then I would sell drugs in Grateful Dead parking lots. So I made between $9,000 and $13,000 the summer before I decided to go to college.
Wait, hold on. Like, you just casually mentioned you went on the road with the Grateful Dead.
Well, the Grateful Dead would go on the road and you would follow them. It wasn't like you were with the Grateful Dead.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people do that, especially Grateful Dead and Fish and stuff. They're just they're on this circuit.
In like the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s is that you could basically find a group of people that were literally driving from show to show to show. So I would drive on shows up the coast of California into Oregon and into Washington. I would stay. The farthest I ever went was to Colorado.
Pretty fucking
cool. And I did go to Colorado that summer because they played Red Rocks. And then Fish was there around the same time too, so it was a good time to like double and get off. So
this is so good. Like, I want, in my heart, I want a shirt now that says the Grateful Dead World Tour and Lydia. And Lydia Popovich is also, and all your tour dates on the back.
Just on the back. And Lydia Popovich selling drugs out of van.
The prices.
900 selling drugs out of van. But it was like, that was like the thing to do in the 90s. Like people fucking, so you would go and just party in the parking lot, and you could get anything you wanted.
But again though, just like, cause it's like, you have this next step thing of like, and I'm going to make money doing it. Like, it's just like, so, I mean, like, I assume you were also a Grateful Dead fan, or was this just...
I grew up, my dad was a Grateful Dead fan. I loved the music. I grew up, it was something that like, I didn't like, and then I came to really appreciate. And then like, all it really takes, to be honest with you, is like taking good psychedelic drugs, and you're like, oh, I get it. Oh my God, this is incredible. Of course, time and space is a spiral. The universe is connected. Oh my God, I'm nothing but pure energy. I understand. I am unbridled truth. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Do you want drugs?
And then you settle into it, and you're just like, and these guitar licks are sick. You know? And there's like a whole vibe, and it was just like, I mean, it's very like ethereal and whimsical and very 90s and like whatever. You know, and obviously being 15 to 19 kind of in that, it's also this sort of like wonderland. If you're just, it's a bunch of other 15 to 19-year-olds and people older than that refuse to admit that they're older than that, and everyone's equal, and it's just you know, it's very Burning Man in that aspect of it, but just like, I think stinkier and less dust.
Sure.
More parking lot situation.
Yeah, stinkier than Burning Man, or you said not as stinky as Burning Man?
I think stinkier
than Burning Man.
Closer quarters, dude.
Yeah, man, because people are in a lot of cars. People are not showering. It's for months on end. It's like Burning Man, I feel like people are fucking and then spraying each other off because they're in the desert and they want to make mud. I don't know.
A lot of air circulation in Burning Man.
I've never been to Burning Man because it sounds like a living nightmare. Ironically, you could never pay me to go to a Grateful Dead show now.
Sure.
Like, I would never. I'm like, good. I'm good. I'm very good. I have tapes. I'll listen to those. I'm good. I don't need to go to a show anymore. Yeah. But
the mushrooms helped a lot.
Oh, yeah, a ton. Like, it was great. I'm really a firm believer that everybody should do a lot of drugs when they're a kid. So that way, when you grow up, you can have everything nailed down. You're like, I know what my shit is. I know what my drugs are or aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can just like live your life as an adult. And
yeah, and as a 19-year-old, you can bounce back. I mean, you could sell drugs, do drugs
yeah,
in a parking lot for hours on end, and then the next morning get up and do it all over again.
yeah, exactly. Exactly, and it's quite lucrative.
So you made enough money to pay for college.
It was like it was at least 9, and it might have been 13. It was like somewhere in there, but it was literally enough that like I had told my mom I wasn't going to go to college because I didn't want to take out loans. So I hadn't applied for any colleges, and then I went on like a road trip with my homegirl, and she was going to check out Humboldt State University, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll go to Arcata. Like that's a good like hippie town. They do drugs there. I could still like hustle. You know, maybe I can make this work." So I went with her. Humboldt was fucking boring.
Dude, there's nothing going on up there.
Boring as shit. It was gray. It was cold. I was like, "Oh, this sucks." And then on the way home, we stopped in Chico. Chico was the opposite. Chico was fucking so sunny. There was no adults anywhere. Like as soon as we parked a car, these hot dudes opened up the gate to their fence and were like, "What are you guys doing? You want to come to a margarita pool party?" And I was like, "Fuck yes, I do." And then like we went into this backyard and it was a pool full of fucking kids, margaritas everywhere, and I was like, "Is this heaven? Did I just step into Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Like, what is this?" And then like literally that weekend, like found a place to live, found a job, like came home over like a 4-day weekend, came home on that Monday morning and was like, "Mom, I found a job. I'm going to enroll myself into Butte College." And I have and she couldn't say no because I had the money, found a place to live, had a job, had the whole thing. And then I literally moved like 3 weeks later and was like, I'm going to college. And then, my first year, I only took like 9 units, and it was like ceramics and jazz appreciation twice. Like I was not serious about my studies.
Man, that's awesome. Parking lots have been good to you.
What's that?
Parking lots have been good to you.
Honestly, you know what? I didn't put that together until right now. They really fucking have been. Honestly, they really have been. Parking lots have been crucial. It was like the start of my life. Like in between there, like I wanted to get like a real job when I was 15, and I like had a work permit. So I was like, oh, let me go see what it's like to like have a job. Like I had this fantasy that I was gonna like work in a clothing store or like I wanted to work at the mall.
Like a cool place.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get a job at the mall. Let me figure this out. So there's a mall in well, I guess it's kind of still there. It's called Valco. I think it's called Westfield Shopping Center now or something different. But Valco was like this kind of old out of the way mall. It was very quintessential, like 80s, 90s mall. And then it was like just dead for a while where it just felt like a zombie mall. But I got this job there, and I got a job at like a coffee store. And this is like when coffee shop culture was just starting to become like really cool. So I was like, ooh, I'm 15. I work at a coffee shop. This is going to be great. But it's in a fucking mall, Lydia. What are you doing? This isn't like wearing a cute beret and like making a latte kind of shop. You know what I mean? The person who hired me was this scary fucking Russian dude who I realized after the fact hired me because my last name is Popovich, which is Russian. So he hired me assuming that I was just going to be like a Russian teenager who like spoke Russian and was ready to like do whatever. And he saw me and was just like, what are you? What is Mexican? How are you? What is happening? You know, and I had to like explain to him, you know.
He was like, why you write Popovich?
Yes,
why
pretty
you
much.
put that?
He was like, what is this? Like, your hair should be like pillow. It is soft like silk. What is happening? You know, and he's like looking at me, and I had to explain to him that like my dad's Russian, my mom's Mexican, so that's why I look like this. But like, yes, I'm half and half. And he did not like me. He refused to let me work like the counter at the shop, and then he decided that he wanted to put a coffee kiosk up, like a little cart by the J.C. Penney's. So I was like, oh, and here's the J.C. Penney. I found actually a picture of like where it was. So my cart was literally right here between the escalator and the J.C. Penney, and then this like weird thing right here. So basically like this far end of the mall in the middle of nowhere with like no activity, nothing. And it ended up just being the most boring. I would just sit there. And people were like, are you open? Like, what are you even doing here? And I was like, you want a coffee? And they're like, what? And I was like, why would I want a coffee? I'm going to JCPenney. Like, it's just like, it definitely wasn't like a Starbucksy kind of culture. But he hated me so fucking much. And he like accused me of stealing like 3 times. So I finally was just like, one day came in and was like, you know what? I fucking quit, dog. This is stupid. This is the dumbest job I've ever had.
Follow the goddamn
like,
dead around.
Ridiculous. And he was just like, Mexican's so lazy. Like it was like a whole racist situation, like where he just was like, because a Russian wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
I remember him telling me that a Russian wouldn't do this. And I was
He was
like,
Mexican's so lazy. Lie about last name Popovich.
yes, exactly. He was like, you never made sense to me. You'll never make sense to me. And I'm just like, well, I'm going to go not make sense somewhere else because I can make way more money and be happier in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Make thousands of dollars without you,
Make
sir.
way more money in the parking lot just outside of this building.
Yeah, I will go stand right now. I have a fucking half ounce in my purse. Like, let's do this. But yeah, that was nuts.
Wait, okay, so let's. I don't know if we accidentally just covered it, but okay. So then, Lydia, what would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
For me, the worst job I ever had was by far an illegal job before I was 15. I was probably 14, probably 13, 14-ish. And I worked with my dad. My dad worked for a medical supply company. And his job was sort of scheduling all of the drivers that go out to people's homes who are injured and need in-home medical equipment. So like adjustable beds, wheelchairs, oxygen machines, like knee braces to like exercise people's knees, like anything, like walkers, commodes, like ventilators, like just everything. So he knew that I wanted a job and he was like, all right, well, you can come to work with me, blah, blah, they'll pay you under the table. And I think they paid me like $12 or $13. It was like a lot for me. I was like, ooh, that's good. And I didn't realize how gross the job was going to be because my job was in the warehouse receiving the equipment that had come back from homes.
No.
And it was my job to evaluate it for workability and to clean and sanitize and like re-put it back into stock. And I will just say that literally the grossest job I've ever had. Like when you talk about like you have no like things coming in where you're like, what is all of this?
Yeah, this was
it's
once
like
a fluid, now it's dried.
Fluidy kind of streaks and stains on stuff. Like the beds were always the grossest. There was wheelchairs that you were like, somebody has literally just been shitting into this wheelchair. Like there's no way to deny this is caked shit. Literally caked on shit. You're like, this is 100% shit.
Wheelchair shits are the worst.
Just
nowhere for it to go.
I guess they just didn't want to get up. They just were like, I'll shit around. I'll just shit into it. Like,
so it would come in. It would come in and you had to clean. Did you have like a hose or like what did you have?
Oh, a series of things. It was like basically a bunch of gloves, no masks at all, but just like plastic gloves. We had like a hose outside. My routine was I would hose everything off outside before I even brought it into the warehouse. Yes. And then it was just like this series of cleaners. And then we also had steamers, like heated water steamers, so you could steam off like the chunked on shit and hair, and like get all that shit and hair. Like, oh my god, literally so many bodily fluids. Like the most disgusting thing. It was like the realest job I ever had, and definitely a job a 14-year-old should not have had. Like I should.
You sound like you're like 40 doing this job.
Yeah, well, and it was me and another guy, and the guy that worked there was like 900. He was like 70 years old, so old. And so he would clean things like he'd be like, okay, I got that one chair, and you're like, motherfucker, you were here for 4 hours and you cleaned one chair. Are you kidding me right now? Like
the least shittiest chair. He left me with all the shitty wheelchairs.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and this job sounds like it's like the last stop for people who have had a bunch of other jobs and are like, I don't want to do those or can't do them. Like I've been fired from substitute teaching so many times.
Well, basically I found out years later talking to my dad, because I was like, why did you let me work there? Like was this even ever appropriate at any time?
Right.
And he told me it was because they kept hiring ex-cons.
Okay.
Who just kept quitting.
Right.
They were like, it's closer to jail. Like, I don't want to, like, I'd rather go back to jail than have this job.
So sorry.
And they literally couldn't find anybody to do it.
Yeah. Right. And your dad was like, I will bring in my child.
Yes. It's so representative of my dad's hustle mentality of like, I know my budget sucks. She wants some money. I can probably talk her into doing this. Like, this is going to make me look good. Like, but then also not thinking about the reality of like putting me into danger. Like all of his schemes always kind of almost put me into danger. Like I think the only thing that kept him from like, was just his own violent nature and him being like, I will stab someone. Like I will choke someone out if they hurt her. Like, or
his
like,
confidence.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel comfortable doing this, and I also feel comfortable in the knife that's in my back pocket.
Yeah. He would have had any of those shitty wheelchairs got out of line. He would have stabbed one of them.
100%. Or if I would have got something, he would have went to that person's house and been like, "You killed my daughter." You know.
Yeah.
So hold on.
Everyone would have been like, "Maybe I shouldn't have put her at risk."
But I still got him.
Yeah, exactly. How dare you have hepatitis?
What was his pitch to you? Was it just like, hey, come on down, why do this work?
It was just, hey, you want to come work with me? I'll find something for you to do in the warehouse.
Minimal information.
It was literally nothing. It was like, I'll find you something to do in the warehouse. And I was like, okay, how bad can it be? And then I did it. And then I was also like, my dad also raised me just to do whatever the fuck he said.
Of course. Yes.
So it was literally like probably 3 or 4 weeks of just being like, I hate this. This is disgusting.
Well, it's also like
I got a paycheck, and then I was like, is it worth it? Because he also knew I was a greedy little bitch. So I mean, he knew that once I saw the money, I'd be like, okay, maybe I can do this.
How long did you do it for?
I feel like I did it for like some months.
Okay, yeah,
like
you held on.
It was a while, and then I started complaining. And then one of the women who like worked there was like, you're working way, like, she got me out of the warehouse. She was like, oh God, no. And she's
like a teenage girl, like, just like,
yeah. And she's like, you can help me file. Like, she was the accountant. So I was like filing her accountings. And then she figured I was smart. So then she taught me how to like do billings. And she was like, oh, fuck yeah, get you on these spreadsheets. Yeah, fucking send these bills. Let me show you about insurance codes. And then I had like an office job and then I worked in the office of that place for like, a year and a half or so.
Okay, so you were rescued by someone not your father.
Yes, correct. So this lady was like, "Oh no, little caca child, no."
Pretty much. She was just like, "Who put this girl?" Like, she didn't realize. She just thought I was at work with my dad. She didn't realize that I was actually working in the warehouse. Right. And then she had the wherewithal. She was like one of one woman. It was like all men everywhere. So it was also one of those classic situations where like the one woman's like, you fucking idiots. You're paying her under the table in a dangerous hazmat situation. Do you want to lose this whole business? Okay, why don't I take the child and put her in my office?
I found a child in this pile of shitty wheelchairs and I am taking her with me.
Correct. Definitely the grossest fucking job I've ever had. That sounds 100% disgusting.
Pretty gnarly. Pretty
bad.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So I will never, needless to say, I have not done manual labor for a very long time. That was like the last time I did manual labor as like a job thing. After that,
you went in pretty hard.
Yeah, I did, which is now, why I was like, I'm going to sell drugs. This is just way better. This makes more sense than juking coffee for a mean Russian or cleaning shit off of wheelchairs. Maybe I am doing something illegal. But like,
your legitimate options were extremely unpleasant.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Well, Lydia, we always close the podcast with 3 questions. Okay. The first one is for the worst job. When were you done and how did you quit? So you were accounting still.
Yeah, I was
when
accounting.
Were you like, I got to get out of here?
I mean, I would think I was going into high school. Like I was starting high school and I was
doing accounting, you're doing billings and you're going into high school. Typical story.
Exactly. I was graduating from middle school and I was like, I feel like I've really learned as much as I can in this department. And I appreciate everything that you've shared with me. So I think I need to just focus on my studies and just like, really buckle down and see what high school's all about.
See what high school's all about.
So
that was pretty much it. It was kind of legit because I was like, yeah.
Sure.
And I had this fantasy that was when I had the coffee fantasy job.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to have a high school fun job.
A cool,
yeah. And then then I had
a cool high school girl job.
Exactly.
So how did you quit? Did you tell them, or did you ghost them, or you like give them your notice, or?
At the coffee job?
No, at the shit at the one once you were accounting and high school.
No, literally that's how I did it. I was like, I think like I'm starting high school. I just want to like focus on high school. I don't want to have a job.
And they were like, okay, fine.
I literally was like, I really appreciate everything you've taught me. Like, it was really good. Like, I love it. Like, maybe I can come back and work for you again in the summer or Christmas. And she was like, anytime. If you want to work for Thanksgiving break for like a week, you call me. Like, if you want to work for spring break, you call me. Like, anything you want.
You're not legal, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Quite literally how I quit was like, I just need to focus on high school.
For sure.
Not even kidding. That's how I quit.
And it's impossible to argue that logic.
Right. Like, oh yeah, that's right. You're a child.
Yeah,
of course.
Carry on.
This is technically illegal. Yeah.
So question number 2 is, what's one good thing you took from that very bad job? I say we'll call it the shit cleaning job.
Yeah. Setting boundaries.
Sure.
Of knowing kind of like that it's important to set your own boundaries, that not everybody is going to look out for you. Like I should have raised my hand so much earlier than I did, you know what I mean? And it shouldn't have taken another person being like, do you even like this?
Yeah.
Like it took someone asking me like, do you even like this? For me to be like, I hate it. Like, this is terrible. You know, just to be like, even if it's someone that you respect, you know, and obviously having to be my dad, it was a little bit more intense, but realizing that having those boundaries, advocating for yourself is incredibly important, and no one's going to do it for you.
Right. And there's a big difference between like the hustle mentality and just doing literally anything that comes your way.
Yeah. Completely.
Because like hustling is hustling for something, not
Choose
just doing something. Fair. And so it was kind of like this accounting lady who like sort of showed you that, or was it really just you drew the conclusion after she
drew the conclusion after that, right?
Yeah.
It was like the idea that somebody had to ask me,
right, was a
like,
sign.
That just kind of fit into place of like, oh wow, okay. And then after that, like even with her, I would be like, I don't really like doing this. I don't want to do this. And she'd be like, okay, that's fine. How about this? Like,
okay,
you know, So I kind of immediately
you
started.
You can
like,
do that. Right. Just that you can do it is a revelation on its own. Okay, well then the final question, not about the shitty job. And it's like, it's a really dark question now, the coronavirus. Like we've had this question for a while, and I feel like it gets darker every week. But the question originally was like, if you had to give up, comedy or whatever dream you are currently pursuing, which we kind of all have already, and you pick up like a new job or a new direction, what might that be?
Oh, easy. I already know.
Go ahead.
It's something I'm already working towards. Okay. I've lived in the city for a million years. I've lived in the city. I always was like, I'm a city person. I'm a city person. I'm a city person. I do love the city, but I am fucking over it. Yeah. I want to buy land in a country area, in a rural area. So I'm looking at land, and I'm really, really attracted. And I've spent a lot of time in Tennessee. For me, looking at like Middle Tennessee or Eastern Tennessee, and I want to buy 30 acres minimum. And I want to be able to just kind of like be out on my land, have a house for my mom and my brother, have a house for some friends to come by, or have some RV hookups, have a lake, have a water source. I want to be able to just basically have a barn full of weed that I'm growing, and just grow all of my own weed and make my own butters, make my own stuff, and then grow my own food. Just kind of a homestead a little bit. Like I just kind of want to like be in my space and be able to create art on my own terms, right? Like just because you can never stop art from being created. Like you just can't. Like you just have to think about the art that you're putting out and why you're putting it out and what needs to be said or what doesn't need to be said. So I just want to change my whole mentality about how I create art. And for me, comedy is art. You know what I mean? Making people laugh is a spectrum. It's not just dick jokes. It's not just like little things here and there.
Yes.
I'm really into creating a vibe and creating an energy and creating a time and moment in a space. Like, and that's why I haven't done any Zoom shows, to be honest, because it's really hard for me. I need that energy from a crowd. And while I can see people, and I've had an awesome time talking to you guys, obviously, like we're connecting.
It's not a Zoom show.
But it's not a show. Right. And like, that's just something that I need personally. So I want to really think about, my art, you know what I mean? And how I'm creating it, and just it's affecting how I'm writing things and what I'm writing and, who I'm writing it for. And I just like the idea of being able to take myself out of sort of like these busy circumstances and putting myself into a place where I can just be quiet and listen and feel and receive sort of like the messages that I need to receive in order to create the art that I want, and really reconceptualize how that art is delivered, which is like a very hippy dippy, very fruity kind of way. But you all heard how many drugs I did as a kid. So I'm just on some other next levels of what I need for myself.
There's only so many parking lots.
Virtual fucking kitties right now on a Zoom show talking,
Yeah.
But it's just, but I believe it though. You know what I mean? And I think a little differently than I think some people, and I'm okay with that. And I used to not be. So I'm just kind of I'm settling into my weird as I get older and older. And I really don't want to compromise it. I want to just continue to settle into my weird. And just fill my space, my time, my mouth, my body, my mind with things that please me. And preferably things that I know the source of.
Yeah. Is I don't actually know this. Is weed like decriminalized or legalized in any way in Tennessee? Or you hoping to do this on like the
So it's on its way. Hemp is legal.
Okay, yeah.
The state of Tennessee is now actually giving out license where you can grow, I believe it's up to, I think it's between 8 and 12 hemp plants, if I'm not mistaken. It might be more. I might have the numbers wrong, but you can grow hemp. And basically that's the same way that it happened in California. Like once you're on that track, like the legislative track starts going that way.
Yeah.
So I would have to, grow hemp.
Right. Of course.
For a while. Until things get better.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But it's also an opportunity to become part of lobbying, and that's also something that I'm very passionate about as well. So, and once you become a landowner, you know what I mean? And you have a reputable agricultural sort of like livelihood underneath you, it makes it a lot easier to kind of get there. So, and I'm in no rush. This is, a 10-year-ish plan for me, a 5 to 10 year plan of like, where does this go?
Right.
I'd like
but it is the direction.
Yeah. And I'd like to have my land within 1 to 3 years, you know what I mean? But this is, sort of an arc for me, but I'm also a person that knows like, unless you make a plan, if you don't make a plan and you don't see it, it won't happen.
Yeah.
So I'm just been really focusing. That's what I've been doing a lot during this time, is really focusing on what do I want? What does this mean to me? How do I change my life? How has this impacted my life? And spending even more time alone and with myself and with people that are close to me has really solidified to me what's important and what's not. And what I think I need and what I thought I need are not the same.
For sure. I think that's a big revelation of, at the minimum, of coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
Why am I here?
What
What's
the fuck
happening?
am I doing?
What the fuck? Yeah.
And what the fuck are people around me doing? That's another thing that I know we've talked about already. It's very surprising. It's just like, okay, well, that's your level of attachment to
and it's
this
like
or
people
that.
deflect. So it's like, if you can just, people need to be more comfortable with thinking about what you literally need. Like, not what do you want?
Yes.
What do you want people to think that you want? What do you
Very
want?
well said.
What do people, think you need? Like, I just think it's super important to detach yourself from all these influences and just spend some time with yourself and be like, me truly, what do I need?
Yeah.
And then what do you want? You can want stuff. Wanting stuff's totally fine.
Yeah.
Super
but if
cool.
you're not touching on the needs, you are going to drown yourself eventually in one way or another.
And that can be a diverse spectrum that is unsettling. You might discover something that you need that you don't want to think you need, but you fucking need it.
You do. Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm in no way surprised by your master plan.
Thanks. Yeah, it's pretty on brand. It's pretty good.
And that it's all the way. Well, thank you so much, Lydia.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's super fun.
Where can people find you on the internet if you'd like to be found?
It's pretty easy. LydiaPopovich.com is my website. If and when we do shows in the future where I feel comfortable, the dates will be there. There's pictures, links to sets and stuff like that from the past. And then on Twitter and Instagram, it's @HaterTuesday.
Great. And we'll put all those links in the show notes as well.
Awesome. I love it.
Well, thank you again so much.
Thank you so much, Lydia. That was awesome.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you guys had a good time. I had a good time too. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And fuck this place.
Yeah, fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to share the podcast and subscribe. If you want to text the podcast, that's 470-BAD-JOBS or 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. Okay, that's it. Bye for now. Fuck this